Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Resonant Rise. My name is Brink, and you can see a couple of things have changed here, but I'm not worried about that. Just decoration ideas that I'm not even sure I'm gonna keep, but I do want a lot of glass here, and I thought, I can't make the whole wall out of glass, so let's break it up a bit. And so I decided to put some pillars every so often, and the amount of pillars are dependent upon where the planter harvester lies, the auto farming station. Now you'll notice that some of these look like hydrated soil. That's because it just finished raining and I brought up the daytime with the sleeping bag. And something interesting about this is that these areas were hydrated, these three blocks, but the blocks that are under this cable weren't. They were as dry as you see them now. They weren't wet like this. And that's what I talked about in the last episode. I didn't know if I made myself understood about these cables being over the dirt, if they would affect the dirt or the tick rate of the speed that the plants would grow. It looks like it might have some effect, but I'm not worried because we have so many. And one of the comments in the previous episode talked about, you didn't need to do so many farming stations. You could have just done one in the middle and then put an octatic capacitor in there, and that would increase the range by a huge amount. Well, yeah, it does, but then you could only get 4 seeds in that large range. By doing it like this, small little planter farming stations, I was able to do a huge amount of different seeds. You see, all of these are different. That's what I wanted. I didn't want only 4 seeds for all of this area. So I have, let's see, how many stations do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 4. I got 28 seeds going right now over here. So that's actually what I wanted. I didn't want just 4 seeds across this whole space. Another thing I wanted to mention, let's see if we can go over here a second. We have enough emeralds already. I think I'm going to let this guy go soon. I'm going to keep him for a couple more days, but that is the plan. I want to let him go, let him travel around. I had some ideas. I guess we'll talk about this idea. Really, for this episode, I wanted to talk about getting together the inscribers and start making some CPU units, some crafting bays, and some molecular assemblers and all of that, and maybe put them in this area, maybe this area and this area, sort of fill in the empty spaces, because this column is just about done before we start moving on to another floor. And it would be good to start automating and auto crafting things. We haven't auto crafted anything yet. So, but then I changed my mind because I'm kind of not in the mood right now. I'm really tired from work. I really wanted to set myself to do it. And I have a design for the inscribers, which will use 5 inscribers and a lot of item ducts. I will get to it, but just remember it's 5 inscribers and item ducts. And it seems to work well and creative, so I'm going to bring it into this world to see if we can get it going. But I'm not going to get into that today. Today I'm going to work with blood magic. We'll do some blood magic today. Now if we go up here, I just wanted to show you, this thing is still running. The washer is so slow, it can't push out the slurry fast enough. And this crystallizer is just waiting and waiting for the yellorium slurry. But this is not pushing it fast enough, and there's no way to speed it up. So I made 5 of them, as I explained before, but all of these are working on yellorium, as you can see, and the whole chest is stuck on yellorium. So as soon as it finishes yellorium, it's going to go on to the next item, and the items are set to rotate. Let's see if we can go in here and I can show you. Is set to rotate on different, let's see, which one do we pick? This is sulfur. Oh, this is the one, yeah. Okay, so it's set to rotate on different ores. The ores that I want to process. There's still some other ores, but I don't want to process them. I only want to process these 8, and so right now it's stuck on yellorium. When it's done yellorium, it's probably going to jump into iron or something else. I'm not in too much of a hurry, so it's not a big deal. When it gets to it, it'll get to it. And then as it's doing it, I'll add monitors here so that I know how many ingots I have of each. Very nice. Okay, so let's get started with blood magic. Here we go. Blood magic requires an altar. And this is a botanic altar, Botania. We're going to make this blood altar, which requires some stone, a furnace, diamond, and gold. Let's make that. We'll need a sacrificial knife. Now there's a dagger also. This dagger is for killing mobs. But this sacrificial knife is, I think, what we need. Just a prick of the finger will suffice. Let's see what the difference is. This one's for creative. We don't want that. So it's just gold, iron, glass. The glass is probably what's going to cut us. So we'll make one of those. And so now if we place this down, we can get this going. We can go ahead and start right away. Let's see. We have our blood altar here. And we need to prick our finger with this. So right now I'm cutting myself, and you'll notice that my health is going down. The good thing about having those mini red hearts, just for an occasion like this, we have 5 of these, is that we can do this a lot and not get so hurt. Now this is filling up, and I can go over here to my fallen canard, and you can see that I'm getting regeneration 3, and it's being refilled because the canard is pulling from the Botania mana producer. One thing to note, you notice that there's no negative effect. I mean, hunger is going down pretty quick. I'm getting kind of hungry there, but my health is going up. Now we can continue doing this until we... Oops, I put it in there. Now how did I... Wait a second. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Okay, so what we want to do is cut ourselves. So I'm pointing away from the altar. If you point to the altar, I guess you put it inside of it. So yeah, we'll go down again. And you know what? I should probably have done this closer to the fallen canard. Or I can bring the fallen canard over here with a mana pool and some mana tablets. That's probably the way to go. Alright guys, I'm looking at my inventory to see what I have. And I think I am ready to do a couple of things. Now, I pulled you away too quickly because I did want to show you how I'm going to do this. I'm going to place probably over here and probably over here. Let's get the stuff I dropped here and come right back up. And we'll put this back. Okay. I just placed that there for later. The fallen canards will go here and here. No. Aha. Yes. The old trickaroo there. Alright, we'll need a mana pool. And we have plenty. I'll take some mana tablets. And we have a few. We only need one, I think. We're not going to need so many. So let's put this in the middle so that the... you know what? Let's put a little bit further. How about over here? And the mana tablet here. And hopefully the fallen canards can reach from here. Let's see, where's my queue? There we go. Okay, so that'll fill up. And now the fallen canards are giving me my regen. But notice it also is giving me hunger. And I'm already hungry. Look how fast it's going down. But it is reviving me, which is cool. Now we're going to get started with our first craft, and it'll be some slates. We're going to need some slates to progress in this, and it's going to be the key to a lot of the things we do. These slates are going to occupy most of our time, in fact. Let's see if this is full. This is at a 1,000, so yeah, it's empty. Let's put this in here, and we'll put this away. Alright, so we're ready. We need some stone. It's going to be some smooth stone. And we're going to need loads of this, but I'm only going to do a little bit in front of you so you can see, because this takes a long time to do. So I do need a lot of this blood in here. And it would be good to see how much I have here, but I don't have a sigil yet. And a sigil will let you know how much life essence is in there. But what we can do is just drop this in there. I'm sorry, not drop it. We need to place it in there. So we right click it and now it's placed. And after about 40 seconds, this will convert into a slate. And you'll notice that my revive is still going up and it's converted into a slate. I have a visual glitch where it's not really showing. It shows after a few seconds, but we can grab that. And this is what a slate looks like, blank slate. So we're going to have to do a million of these. All right, I just realized, I made a number of them, but I realized that why am I doing it so manually? I did space these out for a reason. I left some space here so I can automate these. Now, I've done this before. I know how to automate these. I did it in a stream once. We want the output to go to the right because I read from left to right. It's just the way I do. And what we want to filter out, I have a filter here. Let's access the filter. We want any blank slate to be pulled out of here, out of this filter. So now this filter is filled with a blank slate. And so whenever there's a blank slate, it'll go through. Let's see. I'm going to place a blank slate right on the altar. And let's see if it goes through. It did. Okay, let's try that again. Beep. And it went through. Okay, so that works. Now, to automate this further, we want to take from here, and I'm hungry already. These fallen canards have a drawback in that it gives you a negative effect if you stand around them too long. So what we want is some stone. We're going to take some stone out of here, and we'll place them into here. But if I place them all, it'll start pushing all of them in there. Look how much is filling in there. So let's stop that for a second. And let's pull all of these out. Did we take them all out? Let's see. Is there one more? Okay. We got both stacks out of there. We can use what's called a hyper rationing pipe. If we put this in here, it'll only allow one at a time, as long as this is only one deep. If it's too deep, you're going to need two hyper rationing pipes. So this will allow only one to go in. The rest will wait in here. Notice that only one is going in. And as soon as this turns into a blank slate, well, this is waiting for a blank slate. It'll suck it out and pull it into here. And there it is. There's our first one. And so I'll just put the rest in here. And now we wait. All right, this is taking just way too long. Let's pull this out. I think I'm done with this. Let's just stop this for a minute. Let's let that finish. And I did almost a stack here. Let's pull this out also. I'm just not going to wait anymore. I can do this off camera. It's no big deal. Let's just drop all of these. And we got 59. All right, any others? No. All right, so I'm going to fill this up. And we're going to need just a little bit of food. Okay, some blood here. Some life essence is what it's called. And we'll go up to here. And you'll notice that this is filling up. It is not fully filled yet. Okay, so let's get some regen going. And we'll bring up our life a bit and fill this up a bit more. Now, what I'd like to do is convert some of these blank slates. Oh, I have it on me. Okay. And I'm going to convert these. You know what? Before I do that, let's make a divination sigil. This divination sigil is a useful tool when you wand it or hold it over an altar like this. Well, not put this in there. But when you click the altar with a divination sigil, it'll tell you how much LP is in here. To make a divination sigil, though, I'm going to need a blood orb. And as you can see, as going through them, the weak blood orb that you saw right now is probably the lowest tier. So it's probably the one we can make right away. It just needs a diamond and 2000 LP. we're at tier 1. In other words, we don't have a big altar. We just have the altar itself. So that's just tier 1. ep2000 means that I think we're going to have to fill it up with a little bit more blood. But let's get that diamond. And let's do just a little bit more sacrificing here, just to make sure that this doesn't run out of LP, because I don't know exactly how much 2000 is by visually looking at the altar. So let's regen a little bit, and we'll try to fill it up as much as possible. And that should be good enough. I think it's full there. We'll just stick this down there, and that'll start chewing it up. If I see that it goes dangerously low, I'll just sacrifice myself a little bit longer. It's visually glitching, but it shouldn't be too much longer. Let me just fill it up a little bit more, just to make sure that this doesn't run out of blood before it finishes to 2000. And where is it? Where is it? There it goes. Not there yet. We are at tier 1. I'm not worried about that. I'm only worried at this moment about running out of blood, but there it is. So let's pick this up. And this is our weak blood orb. Now, one thing very important that a lot of people forget to do, you need to shift, click it, and now it's bound to you. Notice it says current owner is Brink the Gamer. Alright, so the next thing we need to do is to make a divination sigil, and that's done in the crafting table. Let's pull up divination sigil. We'll need glass, 1 slate, and the weak blood orb in the middle. And there we are. And now with this divination sigil, I can click the altar, and notice it'll tell me I'm at tier 1 with 10,000 LP as my maximum capacity for the altar. Notice there's also a little GUI on the left. That'll tell you how much LP is available. So from here, we need to go ahead and move on to tier number 2. The way we'll do tier number 2, we'll need some blood runes. Let's pull up a rune and see how to make it. These guys right here, they look very plain. These are capacity ones. They give you special buffs, special abilities for your altar. We'll need 2 of these, our blood orb, and some stone. So, where is it? Here. We'll need the orb. Where's my orb? Here it is. We'll put it in the middle. And now we can make 1. Let's make 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Total of 8. And now, let's just move this to a better place. I'm going to take it outside, and we're going to drop it near these chests, because I'm going to be working from here. So we'll make a little area, and then we'll put our altar right in the middle. And I do want to get rid of this, the particles. Okay, that'll reduce it a bit. Let's get rid of this mana tablet. Alright, what I want to do is lift this up just a little bit, and we'll automate it this way. We got to be close. And where's my... yeah, there it is. Alright, just to automate this, we'll continue with the hyper conduit as we did before. And I guess we need to move this up just a little bit. Let's take this block here, and we'll put it under here. Alright. Again, pulling it out of there with a screen. Alright, so now that we have our tier 2, if we use the divination sigil, we should see tier 2. Let's see. We are at tier 2 successfully. Okay, and our capacity is still 10,000. We've lost the life essence that we had before because we had to move this, but that's not a worry for me. We can sacrifice a little bit more. And soon we will get into a part where we're going to be sacrificing hostile mobs over this, and that'll take the burden off us. But notice these are plain blood runes, and we're going to be converting these to other kinds. But right now, what I want to do is make something. It's a special kind of slate. It's a different slate than what we have here. We've had the blank slate. We're going to be using a different slate this time. Let's place one in, It'll take a few seconds to make. And it's in there now. The visual glitch doesn't allow us to see. Oh, yep, it's pulling out because of this. Let's remove this for a second. And now let's try it again. Let's put that in here and let's pull this one back to us. Okay. And this will convert into a different kind of slate. And that's what I want to filter in here. And there it is. And this is the slate that I'm talking about. Let's take a look. Reinforced slate is what's the name. Let's put it into the filter, remove this one, and put this one instead. And now this one goes into the transfer node. Very good. And now anytime there is one of these reinforced slates, it'll pull it out and put it into the chest. What we're going to put in here instead now of the instead of the stone is these blank slates, and we're going to convert them into reinforced slates. Alright, now guys, I want to talk a little bit about storage. As you can see, I've set up a couple of altars. They're far enough away from that altar that whatever I do over there will not affect this one. By the way, I do have to do a little bit more here. Let's just fill this in while we talk over there. Okay, so what I've been doing is filling up over here whenever I have spare time. There's an extract fluid pipe coming out of here, out of all three of them, by the way, and inputting into this open blocks tank. And this is what I've collected so far. And so what will happen, I won't do it now because as long as it's crafting, it's not safe to go ahead and connect this. But you can input that open blocks tank of life essence into this altar. And this really isn't a type of liquid. I guess it's half and half type of liquid. It's really supposed to be an ethereal type of thing, a spiritual thing, life essence. And what happens is you can feed it into here, but as long as there's something on it, it'll take a little bit and won't process because it's not taking it in fast enough. When you put in life essence, you really have to beat it. So this is the fastest way to beat it, and it'll process that way. But if you feed it in slowly through a fluid pipe, then it'll just dry it all out. The reason is because the altar can only input and output at 20 millibuckets per tick. That's the speed at which it pushes out and pulls in. Unless you put some runes of speed or capacity, or let's see what the name of it is, I don't remember. This one right here, this blue one, rune of dislocation. This superior capacity is really good because that'll hold a lot of life essence, augmented capacity as well. So this dislocation rune is really what I'm looking for, and this will allow for an input of fluid conduit at a super fast rate. The more we put, the faster it'll go. I think it's 20 or 40%, 22% for each rune you use. So 4 runes should be good enough. Let's get a little bit more in here. Now what I can do is add a lever here, and that'll shut off the input of this conduit. And then I can plug in all of that life essence, fill this up, then disconnect it, and then flip the switch again. That's the way to do it so that, yeah, it won't dry up. It'll be efficient that way. Let me do that real quick. Alright, before we talk about a couple of other useful tools, I do want to show you proof of the 20 millibuckets per tick that we're doing here. All I did was disconnect the fluid tank from the bottom. I kept the one on the top, which is the one that feeds down to the bottom one. And the bottom one, when it's full, I connect it over here. Extract always from here, input always to here. And if we look at the Wayla, you can see that it's going down at a rate of 20. Another way to do it is to take your division sigil and just point it to the altar. And you can see that the altar's current essence is 2975. If we click it again, 3075. It's going up at 20 per tick. And so it's shut off. So this has a capacity at the moment with these runes of 10,000 LP, as you can see on the bottom there. Alright, another thing I wanted to show you is how I made these blood letters packs. So if we go in here, I'm not going to make any more of them, we made a few. Blood letter. You take a leather tunic, easy enough, gravel, super cheap, with a bucket, an empty bucket, and some glass all around. The slate, as we saw, was very easy to make. And so this will make you a blood letters pack. Sort of a vest. And what you do, if you have a safe place like here, I'm recharging my health here, regenning, as you can see. So I'll remove my protection chest plate and place this blood letters pack on top of me. And I'll immediately start taking damage. The problem is that I've already filled all of these up with some LP. You'll notice that it says 10,000 LP are stored in each of these. That takes a long time to do. So what you do, notice this is 10,000 at the moment. If I click it, it'll fill up the altar. You'll see that the capacity is 10,000, but the altar's current essence is 10,000. I filled it up in a fraction of a second. The leftover is in here, 4855. So it's fair. It doesn't take more than what you've stored. So I'll just keep these in here for when I need them. But yeah, that's a fast way to do it. You stand right here with your blood letters pack. It'll start giving you damage. Let me put it on so you can see the damage that it gives. It's a typical damage just like your sacrifice. And let's put it on. And you'll see that I'll start taking damage in just a moment. Oh, this one is a full one. We took the wrong one here. Let's see. Which one was it? Ah, this one is the one. Okay. And I'm taking damage from hunger. Let's eat real quick. Very good. And now we can put our blood letters pack on. Let's see. Okay, there you saw the damage. And so I'm taking damage. You can see my hearts are going down. But the fallen Kanad is keeping me restored, which is a safe way to do it. As long as you're near the fallen Kanad, you're okay. Another way to do it is to have a beacon. And I didn't bring a shovel, but I did build a mock beacon to show you. It's just so slow because it's only regen 1. So it's not worth it. If you can build a fallen Kanad, it's better. Now this is a full beacon. It goes all the way 9 by 9 underground. I just wanted to show it as a tutorial, but I decided not to. It's not even worth it. You put the beacon there and feed it some iron or some emerald or diamond, and then tell it that you want regen with some other potion effect. I used haste. It doesn't matter. So then it'll give you regen 1. But notice that these fallen Kanads give you regen 3, which is a lot faster. Alright guys, I'm going to call it here. I'm going to make a whole lot of blank slates and the reinforced slates. And then by next episode, we'll be freely able to build a lot of the runes that we need, or runes that we need to build a bigger tier altar. And then we can get into some high-powered stuff. Until next time, guys, I want to thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.